you would think Amazon has enough money and power. You would think that as a company who has had failures in their life, that they would realize, hey, once in a while, things don't go your way. Sometimes you bid on a contract, someone else has a better bid, and you lose. Well, no, don't tell that to Amazon, who has definitely in the last few years gotten a sense of entitlement around them. Jeff Bezos and everyone at Amazon believes that they are truly going to rule the world. And they want to rule the world. And they will do everything in their power to make sure they rule the world. We talked about this fairly recently. There was a JEDI contract the government was putting up. Like, the government wants some cloud-based infrastructure, and they put out a contract to be bid on, like, we need this, someone do this. Now, I have stated before that I am uncomfortable with any company getting this contract. I don't believe the government, who will supposedly be housing very sensitive information on these cloud servers, should have access to any of it. The government should make their own infrastructure, but they can't. They are just way too behind, and so they are outsourcing it to a private company, which I think is bad. But that said, considering the companies that were up against it were Amazon and Microsoft, yeah, give it to Microsoft. I trust them a heck of a lot more than I trust Amazon, and I still don't trust Microsoft all that much. I don't trust any company with information, because that's what they're all going for. They want information so they can have power. And now, because Amazon is not getting some of that power, that they have to concede some of that sweet seat data gold to Microsoft. They are actually seeking to block the contract. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you happen to like videos like this, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell notification. We upload on a near daily basis, and you want to be notified of these things. We upload near daily videos, we have premieres, live streams, all that jazz. You'll be notified. So let's look at this article from Reuters. This pissed me off pretty much. Amazon.com Inc. will ask a judge to temporarily block Microsoft Corporation from working on a $10 billion cloud contract from the Pentagon, a court filing showed on Monday. Amazon, which was seen as a favorite for the contract, plans to file a motion for a temporary restraining order on January 24th, and a federal court will issue its decision on February 11th, according to the filing. You big babies. You sore losers. You sore losers. No, I'm going to hold off. Two more little... We're not going to read this whole thing, but, the next two parts really highlight the problem. The e-commerce giant has blamed U.S. President Donald Trump of exerting improper pressure and bias that led to the U.S. Department of Defense to award the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure Cloud contract to Microsoft. Even if it's true, don't think it's illegal. Trump is allowed to do business with whoever he wants. The Department of Defense has stood by its decision, with its Secretary Mark Esper rejecting any suggestions of bias and saying the decision was conducted freely and fairly without any outside influence. So, yeah, you know what this is? I've said it before, but in case you missed that video, this is what it is. This is Amazon going I want a $10 billion contract. Microsoft mean, they're not sharing. That's what this is. Amazon is throwing a hissy fit, and it's annoying. I mean, if that last 20 seconds was annoying to you, that's what this looks like to me. This is Amazon, throwing their milk bottle in the air, railing around, screaming and crying on top of their lungs. They want their rattle. They want their $10 billion rattle. The problem is they're 20 years old, which means they look far worse. It's way more embarrassing to watch a 20-year-old acting like a child. However, why would Amazon be throwing this much of a tantrum? Here is why. The JEDI contract is part of a broader digital modernization of the Pentagon meant to make it more technologically agile. Specifically, a goal of JEDI is to give the military better access to data and the cloud from battlefields and other remote locations. Now, here's the thing. I told you that Amazon was looking for that sweet data gold. Data is the new gold. It's kind of like how gold used to be the gold. Well, now it's data. Because he who has the information controls the world. Like, for many years, people thought that the President of the United States was the most powerful man in the world. No, it wasn't. It was J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was the most powerful man in the world because he was head of the FBI. He had an unchallenged stint. He had dirt on everyone. I mean, there are talks that when J. Edgar Hoover died, the first thing Richard Nixon ordered was to have the FBI files raided to find out what dirt he had on them. Hoover exerted extreme control over the government because of information he had. It was that information that he developed a file, for example, on Charlie Chaplin. And when Charlie Chaplin left to go on a 2-week vacation, he had ears and information that Chaplin had left the country. And because Chaplin was not a naturalized U.S. citizen, he officially blocked Chaplin from ever coming back to America, although Chaplin was eventually able to do so to accept an honorary Academy Award. And how do you know this? Well, information, data. Again, I have huge problems with the government asking a private company to build this infrastructure where data is going to be used. It's going to be, it's going to be in there, and companies have access to military records, crime, everyday civilians. But Amazon wants it. Amazon, Facebook, and Google, they are by far the most aggressive. They want your data because that's how they make money. Their product is not the service, it's you. It's you. And Amazon, well, they've already got a lot of power. They exert a lot of power and monopolies. And here's the thing. They were really expecting to get this. They absolutely were expecting to get this. And, considering that Amazon wants to take over they want to take over retail, which they've pretty much done. They want to take over cloud computing services. They want to take over the medical industry. They want to take over UPS, for God's sakes. Can you imagine a future where UPS gets dismantled by the government and Amazon creates a shipping service that is so cheap no one can actually compete with it? They're the only ones there, and then Amazon can pretty much ensure that, hey, if you buy from Amazon, your packages will get there in a timely manner. If you don't buy your packages through Amazon, you might get it whenever. And they, by the way, have cloud data so they can figure out who you are. But Amazon, it reaches way too far. They do. That is the only reason I was glad that Microsoft got this as opposed to them, even though, again, I would prefer Microsoft not have it either. But this is a huge blow to Amazon. This throws a wrench into their whole world domination thing. And you think I'm being facetious, I'm not. They really want to control the world. I mean, do a Google or Bing search, Jeff Bezos rules the world, and read some of the comments he makes. They're scary. This man is not, unfortunately, he's like a real-life Lex Luthor. He really is. And now Amazon is suing. They are suing. They are claiming Donald Trump interfered with the deal, which, even if he did, I think that's his right to do. He's the one who's offering the contract. So he can decide who he does and doesn't want to do business with. I don't think he did. I think he's got other things that are currently on his mind right now. I don't think he's worried about the JEDI contract too much, per se. But, yeah, now they are trying to use the legal system to block Microsoft from getting it. I would really love to know what that argument looks like. I'm definitely following this story closely because I think just the judge should really just throw it out. If the judge even entertains the notion of hearing this case, it sets a dangerous precedent that every time somebody loses a contract to someone else, that company will sue the person handing out the contract, saying there are outside forces, and you don't want to be going to trial for this. This is business. And the government, by the way, is not a particularly well-run business. You know how they go by contracts? They say, hey, we need this done. People put in their bids, and they go with the cheapest one pretty much every single time, unless the cheapest bid is from, like, some guy who's from his garage. I bet you Microsoft just had a lower bid or a higher, whatever you want to do. They offered to do this cheaper. That's why Microsoft got the contract. Amazon didn't, which is amazing because Amazon is not above losing money for these things. But apparently they did not offer what they needed to offer this time. So, yeah, that's this is going to be a fun one to watch. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this one. What do you folks think about this interesting development? Do you think Amazon is going to win this injunction? Do you think the judge is going to throw it out? I would like to know what you think. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.